What if the future of space exploration hinges on a race as fierce as any here on Earth? A race to establish the definitive data lifeline to Mars. NASA's recent shift in strategy has electrified the industry, setting off a competitive scramble to build the next generation of communications infrastructure between our planet and the Red Planet. But here's where it gets controversial. The very way space missions will connect and share information may never look the same again. For decades, NASA managed its own fleet of relay satellites and spacecraft, acting as both architect and maintainer of space communications. These orbiters, such as the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter and MAVEN, have been the silent workhorses, gathering data from surface missions and funneling it back to massive deep space network antennas on Earth. Yet as reliable as these craft remain, their design was never intended to support an enduring backbone for interplanetary data exchange, and at some point, their hardware will inevitably grow obsolete. Now, in a move reminiscent of how NASA contracts commercial providers for astronaut transportation and satellite launches, the agency is exploring a service-based model for its communications needs. Instead of owning and operating exclusive technology, NASA wants to buy connectivity and allow private companies to become key players in Mars communications. And this is the part most people miss. The opportunity isn't just about landing a single NASA contract. It's about becoming the gateway for all future Mars data. Whoever builds the best data pipeline could shape not just NASA's operations, but every government and private mission heading to Mars. This new approach will gradually blend NASA's own resources with those offered by commercial companies, supplanting today's patchwork network with a more robust and flexible system. The agency's latest review highlights the importance of MAVEN as a relay, outlining steps to keep it working through the early 2030s, but even NASA admits this solution can't hold forever. Meanwhile, the Space Communications and Navigation SCAN program, the team in charge of the Deep Space Network, is actively seeking fresh ideas to supplement and eventually succeed the aging platform. In July, NASA issued a Request for Proposals, RFP, that asks companies to imagine not just new gadgets, but a whole interoperable marketplace where NASA is one customer among many. Despite excitement, the RFP isn't about placing immediate orders for spacecraft. Instead, it's focused on preliminary studies, the groundwork for what might follow. NASA is looking for two key capabilities: a reliable lunar trunk line linking the Moon and Earth, and seamless Mars communications that transmit data from Mars's surface through its orbit all the way back to mission control on Earth. It's a tall order. The challenges are complex, including mind-boggling distances, high data delays, unpredictable solar activity, shifting visibility to Earth, and the need for bulletproof systems. That's why NASA is asking for comprehensive plans rather than diving straight into full-scale production. Here's where competition heats up. Although it's not yet clear which companies are officially in the running, several industry giants and newcomers have signaled their intent. For example, Blue Origin has unveiled its Mars Telecommunications Orbiter, built atop its versatile Blue Ring platform, and promising to support Mars missions as early as 2028. Rocket Lab has announced its own Mars Comms Orbiter, positioning it as a crucial piece of its vision for the Mars Sample Return Project. NASA isn't just looking for big ideas, it's already investing in them. In 2024, its Mars exploration program gave 12 companies, including SpaceX, Lockheed Martin, and Blue Origin, funding to explore commercial services for future Mars support. SpaceX's plan, intriguingly, proposes repurposing its Starlink constellation, originally built for internet access on Earth, for Martian communications. Think Starlink, but interplanetary. Is it a bold leap or a risky bet? Long-term, NASA's ambitions extend beyond data alone. The agency aims to turn planetary missions from isolated scientific ventures into the foundation for a continual human presence on the Moon and Mars. Reliable, extensible communication infrastructure will be and this raises big, contentious questions. Should NASA rely on private companies for such crucial interplanetary links, or should it maintain sovereign control? What happens if one provider becomes a de facto gatekeeper for Mars? Is blending public and private systems our safest bet, or does it expose future missions to unforeseen vulnerabilities? Let's open the floor. Do you believe NASA should hand the reins of Martian communications to the free market, or is this a risky outsourcing move? Would you trust SpaceX's Starlink to be humanity's interplanetary internet? Join the conversation. Where do you stand on this new golden age of space communications?